Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the post-game fan reaction of the Oilers 4-2 victory over the Seattle Kraken. Once again, never in doubt, Oil Country. Never in doubt. This team, they bend a little bit, but they don't break. And yes, sometimes these games are a little closer than they should be. The Oilers had a quick 2-0 lead. They had an opportunity to go up 4-0 on the power play late in the second period. They did not convert. Seattle came down and scored to make it 3-1 heading into the third period, and then they make it 3-2. And we're all sitting there, we're all going, oh no, because Calvin Pickard was looking a little shaky tonight, but he held the fort down, and the rest of the team, they played a very solid defensive effort as Edmonton wins their third straight game, the second straight on a back-to-back, and defensively, like I said, the Oilers played very well. They kept Seattle to the outside for most of the night. In all situations, I'm pretty sure the expected goals, according to Natural Stat Trick, were, hold on, let me just pull up the stats here. I have it, 2 seconds. 4.74 to 1.24 in favor of the Edmonton Oilers for an expected goals for percentage of 79.3%. The Edmonton Oilers, for all intents and purposes, they completely dominated this game from beginning to end. Started early in the first period where Vasily Podkolzin made it 1-0 off a nice pass from Leon Draisaitl, who, by the way, extended his point streak to 14 games, and Leon Draisaitl also added an empty netter to increase his goal-scoring lead. He is now up to 29 goals on the season, and boy, oh boy, I was wishing he was going to be an empty net merchant and get a second empty netter at the end of this one. He was at the blue line in Seattle zone with about, I don't know, there's like 8 seconds left, 7 seconds, but he wasn't focused on putting the puck in the net. He was just focused on killing time and trying to find a teammate, which is what Draisaitl was all about. He's all about his team. He's not about himself. As he stated after that Anaheim game last night, he took a lot of accountability for his poor play, and I did think that he had I wouldn't say it was as bad of a game as Draisaitl probably thought it was, but tonight, Leon Draisaitl, he completely responded. Him, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson are just running the show right now in terms of what they're doing when they're on the ice. They're never stuck in their defensive zone, and whenever they are, they're really good at getting the puck back and then going through on the attack, which is really good to see. Calvin Pickard made 15 saves tonight in the win. Yes, it's a sub-900 save percentage, but I don't care how. I only care about how many, and the Oilers are now 14. Hold on. I saw Bob Stauffer tweet 14-3-1 in the last 18 games. Yes, your Edmonton Oilers have won 14 of their last 18 games. They are in full business mode right now. It is, they show up to work, they get the job done, they go home, they get a good night's sleep, they wake up and they go back to work, and that's all we can ask for. There's always discourse around certain players, different lines, who should be in, who should be out, if the Oilers need to improve in certain areas, and yes, obviously there's always areas you can improve in. It's not like they're the best team in the NHL, they're not the best team in the world right now. But they don't have to be, because the games that matter most are going to be in April, May, and June, assuming they can even get that far. But at least they are looking good defensively. Again, it was one of those games. I've talked about this in the past this season where sometimes when you're watching, you're kind of bored. You're kind of sitting there going, I wish there was a bit more excitement happening. But the Oilers, that is intentional. They play this low event style game to limit their opponent's chances and then capitalize off opponents' mistakes. And the Oilers are also not a physical team. Tonight, the Oilers, they went 0 for 1 on the power play. I would have loved to see them connect and go up 4-0 and really just put their foot on the throat of their opponent. For some reason, they lack that killer instinct right now. I think that's the one thing, if I were to be asked, what do you think this team needs to do and improve? They need to find a way to just channel some sort of killer instinct. And I don't know what's going on with Connor McDavid, but he looks a little off right now. I wouldn't say Connor McDavid is playing poorly, but just his timing, I think he's trying to do a little bit too much. He's just in one of those McDavid ruts. And a McDavid rut still is one of the best players in the world, but you can tell he's kind of fighting it. He's fighting his puck movement. He's fighting his shot selection. And we know he'll get out of it. I don't think he's hurt. I don't think he's sick. I think it's just one of those Connor McDavid ruts where he's still 1.5 points per game, which is just phenomenal hockey. And he'll get himself through it. Other notable players tonight that I did want to talk about, of course, Derek Ryan. He drew back into the lineup. Corey Perry was a healthy scratch, and Derek Ryan had an assist tonight on Jeff Skinner's goal. It was really good to see Jeff Skinner get a goal. I think Jeff Skinner, since he was healthy scratched in the couple games that he's played since he got back into the lineup, Last night against Anaheim, I thought he looked good. He had an assist. Tonight against Seattle, I also liked his game. He got one shift. He was given one shift with Draisaitl and McDavid, and they had a scoring opportunity. They didn't get credited with a shot on goal, but the puck kind of came into the top of the crease area, and if it wasn't for a great defensive play by Seattle, Jeff Skinner probably would have scored on an open net and possibly got his second of the game. So it's nice to see Jeff Skinner start to find his game. He's finding a rhythm. He's a lot more aggressive on the forecheck, and I think that's just all Chris Knoblauch wants. He just wants to see that aggression. He wants to see how Skinner is playing away from the puck so that it helps the Oilers regain puck possession. Jeff Skinner, real solid game. Vasily Podkolzin, he scored his first goal in what seems like forever, which is great. His fourth of the year. Vasily Podkolzin, of course. And then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he continues to play very, very well. I think he has goals in 3 straight now. He also scored, which is fantastic. You love that for Nuge. On defense, Evan Bouchard was a +2 today with 1 assist. He also... let's see, was he first on the team in expected goals? He was second on the team in expected goals for percentage tonight at 88.13%. Evan Bouchard played a really good game. Corsi 4 was 70%, 35 shot attempts for, only 15 shot attempts against. There's only one play from Bouchard that I wasn't a big fan of near the end of the game. He tried to throw a stretch pass up to Connor Brown in the middle of the ice before Seattle pulled their goalie, and it was icing. It could have led to some trouble. Luckily, it did not. That was like the only play that I can kind of think of where I was like, maybe you should just make the safe play instead of that, high risk type play. And like I mentioned, Connor McDavid, again, like the stat sheet shows he had a really good game, the advanced stats, the advanced metrics. But again, you can kind of tell, and I think a lot of you probably see it too. You're seeing what I'm seeing. He just looks like he's fighting it a little bit right now. Troy Stecher, he had a quiet game, but a solid game. Ty Emberson, again, he's another one of those players where you don't notice him, and that's a real good sign. For the Edmonton Oilers, it's nice to see. It's nice to see this team continue to pile on the wins and climb the NHL standings. I haven't had a chance to take a look at the standings, so we can take a look together here. The Edmonton Oilers are currently 3rd in the Pacific. The LA Kings did beat Tampa Bay. They've won 4 in a row. The Oilers have won 3 in a row, and Vegas has won 2 in a row. It's like these 3 teams just keep winning hockey games, but the Oilers are finally getting some separation from teams below them in the standings, which is really good to see, and hopefully they're able to take advantage of a couple more games against LA and try and get those points back that they lost earlier right after the Christmas break and try and get to at minimum 2nd in the Pacific by the time the playoffs roll around. We do need to see the Edmonton Oilers with home ice advantage. I think that is going to be real key because we saw teams last year in the postseason against Edmonton, especially in the finals, when other teams have the last change. The Oilers were not great at adjusting, and I'd like to see the Oilers continue to climb up the standings. And if we look at the overall league standings, the Edmonton Oilers are currently 7th, but if you sort by points percentage, okay, they're also 7th. So they're just 7th overall in the league, which is really good to see, just above the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you love to see that. The Edmonton Oilers, they're a great team right now. They are absolutely rolling. Like I said, it is all business from this group, and you love to see that. They are back in action on Tuesday against the Boston Bruins tomorrow. Keep an eye out. I may have a day after video up. If I do get one up, it'll probably be uploaded middle to late afternoon. And then, of course, on Tuesday morning, I'll have a pregame report Tuesday night. I'm really hoping to go live. I can't promise you anything. Again, tonight I had been hoping to go live, but I am fighting something right now, so I'm just trying to get my body to 100%. Not that live streams take a lot out of me, but just with my work schedule and what's going on here as well, I just want to make sure that I'm 100% because you deserve the best content. I do not want to go live when I'm fatigued or ill or otherwise and not provide you the entertainment and the fun that you all deserve and the energy. We're full of positive vibes and good energy. And I want to make sure that the next time I do a live stream, you get everything that you all deserve because your support means the world as always. Let me know what you thought of the game tonight, Oil Country. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support as always. We'll see you soon. Make sure you tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers. We'll see you tomorrow.